Did the energy czar of the United States just make a UFO admission during a fiery exchange on Capitol Hill? Let's talk about that and a whole lot more today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, now I watched the grilling of the energy czar. I didn't see any startling admissions, but I'll link to it and you can let me know what you think. However, I did think this was worthy of note.
NL, can you detail the DOE's current security measures to prevent unauthorized drone activities or UAPs, and what steps are being taken to enhance these measures of frequencies of incidences?
Yeah, we have a whole counter drone effort to make sure.
Note how she kind of puts drone in quotation marks. Okay, that's really the only admission I got.
Sure that all of our national security sites and our labs are protected from incursions from drones, I'll just say, that are not authorized. So there's a whole series of protocols, probably not ripe for discussion in this public setting.
Correct.
Okay, so there you go. She's not going to talk about it in a public setting, but she puts drones in quotation marks. She did the same thing a few minutes earlier when Tim Burchett was asking her about these drone incursions over Langley Air Force Base and other Air Force bases. Of course, he was making the point that they weren't drones, that they were UFOs. She shot him down on that, just like shooting down a UFO. And she says, no, they're not UFOs, they're drones. But she puts drones in quotation marks. And she does the same thing with Anna Paulina Luna. Then she says they can talk more about it in a classified setting. So I thought that was kind of juicy. The energy czar of the United States, from the Department of Energy, which is, according to Jacques Vallée, the gateway to the UFO control group. All of this is hidden under nuclear secrets. So you have to be read into that before you can be read into the UFO program, according to Jacques Vallée. And they definitely seem to have their fingers all over the UFO pie, so that wouldn't surprise me at all if that were the case. So I would be shocked if the energy czar did make some sort of shocking UFO admission. They're going to be way too slick to do that. But she does put drones in quotation marks. Meanwhile, Tim Burchett is giving us an update on the next UFO hearing in Congress. Tim Burchett says David Grush's list of cooperative and hostile witnesses will be part of the next hearing. I love it. This, of course, is from Matt Laszlo at Askapol, who Tim Burchett, co-chair Congressional UAP Caucus. Burchett joined Askapol's live listening with Laszlo session on our Discord channel. The congressman wasn't able to log into Discord, so we called an audible, got out some duct tape, and Laszlo moderated questions from Askapol subscribers with the congressman on speakerphone. A subscriber asked, "Are you crafting a whistleblower protection measure?" Yes. Yeah. Tim says, we talked about that. We're working with some legal people and try to get something a little better than what's out there. Key Burchett, David Grush gave a list of cooperative and hostile witnesses. What have they done with this list? That'll be part of the next hearing, Tim says. Some of those folks. I'm afraid to give out too many names because, as you know, what happened the last time, we had like 12 people that were coming in. We ended up with 3. We had some people that were scared. Yep, that's right. The people controlling the UFO information apparently scared off a good number of people from testifying the last go round, and they aren't going to make that same mistake again. I am really excited about the whistleblowers coming forward. I think we all are. I think that nothing really is going to change too much on Capitol Hill with legislation until that happens. I think we're going to make baby steps with the next NDAA. We're going to get a little bit more than we got last time, and the next one, and so on. Every year we'll get a little bit more, and we'll keep on chipping away at the secrecy. But what would really galvanize Congress and the public are those 40 whistleblowers. If we could get, one hearing a month, for example, with 3 whistleblowers every month, for like a whole year. Then, give, a month's time to digest and unpack each set of whistleblowers and, examine what their testimony and before moving on to the next one. And just for an entire solid year of that. Can you imagine the UFO disclosure, madness that would ensue if that happened? So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. I don't want all 40 at once. I want, let's make this count. Let's make this last. Let's not just have this be one news cycle and then it's over. Let's just keep it going for a long time. Get people talking about it for an extended period of time. So either way, it looks like we are getting future UFO hearings, and they are not only going to be people that David Grush talked to who were favorable to the investigation, but also people that were hostile. That's the beauty of subpoena power, is that you can compel witnesses to come forward. Of course, they don't always have to be super forthcoming, unfortunately, but at least you can get them on record. So, yeah, I can't wait for that. You go, David Grush, Tim Burchett, Anna Polina Luna, Jared Muskowitz, everyone else who are pushing this forward. Meanwhile, as Claus reports, here are the 9 follow-up questions on UFOs submitted to the Department of Energy by Representative Anna Polina Luna after the recent hearing. How are unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned aerial systems designated by the Department of Energy? 2, what characteristics would an object need to display to be considered a UAP? 3, how many UAP incursions have been referred to Arrow? Good question. And what did Arrow do with it, right? 4, at Formula One events, private companies are deployed which can disable drones and trace the operator. Is that technology available to the Department of Energy? Yes, they can knock down any drone they want to. Lou Elizondo has talked about this. They're not drones, at least not human drones. Follow-up. If so, how many drones were you able to track to an operator, and how many were you able to disable? And obviously, Anna Polina Luna knows they can disable drones, and she's trying to trap them in an answer. So we'll see if they answer and what they answer with. Follow-up. If so, how many drones were you able to track to an operator, and how many were you able to disable? 6, how many UAP incursions have been reported internally this year alone across all critical infrastructure locations with Department of Energy oversight, e.g., nuclear armament, refinement, and deployment sites like Pantex and Savannah Ridge Riverside. Anyway, it goes on. I'll let you read the rest of the questions at your leisure, but I love these questions. They are brilliant. And it'll be brilliant to see the Department of Energy squirm out from under them. Or at least they will squirm brilliantly. Meanwhile, well, we know that UFOs exist, but do they coexist? Let's hear Garry Nolan explain.
There's also evidence that, let's say, evidence. Again, people are going to misquote me. Evidence does not equal a conclusion. Evidence is just the raw material for a hypothesis. There's evidence that whatever it is that we're dealing with does not all comport to a common command structure. It's not one thing. It seems to be many things. Many things that might be in tension with each other. Think of, in the crudest sense, the colonial powers of the 16 and 1700s, England, Spain, France, the Netherlands, Portugal, all fighting with each other for the raw materials of the planet. Now, I'm not saying that we're raw materials. Planet Earth is such, and that we're being fought over by other things, but that these things seem to be not happy with each other. At least there's evidence of that.
Absolutely, 100%. I reported on that multiple times. Various incidences where UFOs have fired on each other. Yes, not only does the control group shoot them down, but they shoot each other down. And they seem to use the control group to shoot each other down also, since the control group seems to be working with beings of some factions and apparently shooting at beings of other factions. Are they working with the good guys and shooting at the bad guys? Are they working with the bad guys and shooting at the good guys? Or are there no good or bad guys? Let me know your theories in the comments below. But either way, Garry Nolan has seen evidence, indeed, that UFOs do shoot at each other. Meanwhile, this was sent out by Jay Alberto, who brings us a lot of Nazca Mummy information. Is this a ghost? Are we looking at a really good video of a ghost? That's sure what it looks like. Now, could this be the camera, misinterpreting what it's seeing? Could this be a fake? Obviously, no way for me to tell. But this is really compelling footage, I think, of what might legitimately be a ghost. I've seen ghost footage before, but rarely do you see, a full body apparition like this, complete with feet, clothes, and everything. That if this is real, that's an amazing apparition. I've seen from my ghost hunting days, we had multiple videos of shadow beings. And they were really interesting. They were like 8 foot tall beings of shadow, very amorphous. And the light would dim. It would go out. They would pass through a doorway. And a moment later, the light would go out, as if the beings were manifesting themselves by drawing energy from the electricity. And then after a moment of darkness, the lights would come back on. Very interesting. However, ghosts don't seem to operate under that principle. However, we also have a video of an orb interacting with the light similarly. There's a flicker of light and the orb pulses. So, so why do they not all operate consistently? Why do ghosts materialize differently than orbs or shadow beings? I have no idea. But let me know your theories in the comments below, and let me know if you think this is a real video of a ghost. Meanwhile, Dr. Michael Masters is on Fox giving an interview talking about the latest scientific paper that he was a part of, that I've talked about several times over the last few days, where the scientific paper reaching or speculating about various theories that would explain UFOs that don't require, aliens from another world, crypto-terrestrials, Atlanteans, stuff like that, actually in a real scientific paper. I love it, and it is getting a lot of play in the media. I just think that's so exciting. So what is the truth? Where do these beings come from? Who knows? Maybe it's all of the above. But let's listen to Dr. Masters talk for just a minute about all of this.
It's important to start moving the conversation past are UFOs real and past the cockpit videos and the testimonies in front of Congress, right, and the whistleblowers and a Schumer amendment and so many things that indicate that this should be taken seriously, and move the needle a little farther into the realm of, well, what are they? Who are they? What could they be doing? Why are they here?
Yeah, absolutely. I am so tired of, is it real or not? We need to be asking, why are they here? How do we interact with them? Do we want to interact with them? Maybe we only want to interact with certain elements of the phenomenon. But it is there, and we can interact with it. And it seems like it wants to interact with us, at least it's in some times. All of my experiences with the phenomenon, or as I call it, the greater phenomenon, have been very positive, except for one particular instance when I was ghost hunting. And in that case, I sought that experience out. So, no one to blame but myself. All my experiences has been very positive. I am very encouraged as far as interacting with the phenomenon goes. And I want to recommend it to people, but obviously people do have negative experiences as well. So use your own discernment. Go into it with love and light. Either way, I would love us to get past this is it real or not phase and move on to what is it? Meanwhile, check out this amazing UFO footage from John Bell from Real Florida UFO. And you should go check out his channel. He has so much great contacts. He gets nightly, basically, UFO videos. But check this out. This is really interesting. We're about to see a strange light that's not coming from his laser pointer or anywhere are anything from him. Do you see that, the side of the screen right there? And I think it goes again too. He believes this is coming from one of the orbs, I guess lower down toward the ground, and that he believes it may have been scanning him. So this light that we're seeing, not the laser pointer, but the other light that we're seeing at the side of the screen, may be coming from the beings themselves, from the orbs themselves. Isn't that amazing that the beings may have been scanning him? Okay, where did it go? All right, let's go back to the, yeah, all right, there's the UFO that he's tracking, and as he's tracking the UFO, we get this light. Yeah, you see the one thing in the corner of the screen, and then you get that right there. What is that? If it's not coming from him, what is it coming from? Are they scanning him? What's going on with that? What is going on with that crazy phenomenon right there? I think that is amazing. I showed you, I think it was last week, that John got his audio hacked by the beings. He uploaded this video thinking it was just a regular video, and there was this weird audio message or something on it. It's kind of hard to tell. But either way, the beings are definitely interacting with him, and it seems like they're stepping things up a bit. Look at that. Look at that crazy light right there. He says that did not come from him. So yeah, they hacked his audio, and now they're sending weird lights to maybe scan him or his light or something. You know, let me know your thoughts on what is going on in this amazing video from John Bell. And again, I'll link to his channel in the description below. Last but not least, here's the Queen of the Night. It only blooms for one night around midnight. We actually have one of these plants in our backyard. It's a huge plant, and we would have multiple blooms blooming per night in season. It's a big cactus kind of plant, a succulent. It doesn't look like it would be that pretty, but it really is. When it blooms, it's amazing. The flowers are really unlike any flowers that I've ever seen before. They're fantastic, and they have a really distinctive smell, a good smell, but very, very distinctive and kind of cool. So it's kind of spicy. Anyway, let me know what you think about the Queen of the Night and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. Don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate your support. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.